I do not know if it was anger, disappointment, disbelief, or despair. But as the fans leave Sabina Park last night, clearly etched on their face, it was hurting. They clearly were hurting. Hurting not because the West Indies lost, but because once again the West Indies were embarrassed. Once again, we saw a hapless group of guys representing the West Indies who do not care about the fans. They will collect their check sometime in the next 14 to 21 days and they'll be smiling, as we would say, all the way to the bank. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the number one cricket channel in the Caribbean. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for your company. I look forward to your interaction as we go through the player ratings of the West Indies players for the second T20 International versus Australia. I want to say to each and every one of us, all the Jamaicans that were at the match last night, or should I say, all the West Indian fans that were at the match last night, all the West Indian fans that were watching on television, all those fans who have watched the highlights or will be watching the highlights, all those fans who tune in to the Cricket Forum and other shows like this on social media, there's hope. There is hope at the end of the rainbow. Morning comes and the night goes away and the sun shines again and there's hope. There's hope in us. The hope is not in Cricket West Indies administration. The hope is not in these set of players. The hope is in us who love West Indies cricket. It is time that we rise up and reclaim West Indies cricket. We cannot allow this to continue much longer. We cannot sit by much longer and allow West Indies cricket to go lower and lower and lower. I am not calling for a revolution. I am calling for a peaceful reclaiming of West Indies cricket. West Indies cricket belongs to us and we should reclaim it. We cannot, and I repeat again, but we cannot sit by and allow West Indies cricket to continue to go lower and lower. And so why do I find this hope? I am saying to each and every one of us this morning, if we really care about West Indies cricket and are prepared to go beyond just talking about it, beyond just accepting it, if we are prepared to move West Indies cricket forward, there's one thing that we can do. Every sibling or every toddler, put it a toddler, in your family, teach them the game of cricket. Ensure that they learn cricket. Introduce cricket to them. Get them coached properly. I saw all over Jamaica, I don't know what it is like in the rest of the Caribbean. But what I saw in Jamaica all over, from from Nigel to Moran Point is that parents will pay football coaches to coach their toddlers football. But on the flip side of it, parents and guardians believe that their children and ward should be coach free. Coaches in cricket should volunteer their service. As a result, the cricket talent is not being developed the way it should be developed. Because in an age, in this contemporary time of when every man for himself, the spirit of volunteerism is not as high as it used to be 20, 25 years ago and beyond. Every man now wants a buck for the work that they do. Coaches are not fools. Coaches have seen players who they have coached and make it big. And they drove past them on the road without even blowing their horns. So I think there's good money to be made in West Indies cricket. A lot of money. And I know some persons are going to come with some trivial things like player selection and those things and blame the coach. Yes, the coach is ultimately responsible for the performance of the team. But that is the peripheral reasons. Those are peripheral reasons why West Indies cricket is so poor. Is that the pool of talent is small. And as I said, gone are the days when persons volunteer. If you want West Indies cricket to move forward, we have to increase the pool. And the only way we are going to increase the pool is to get more players playing. And it is your responsibility and mine for the toddlers in our family, among our relatives. We need to introduce cricket to them and get them start playing cricket. There's a lot of rewards for playing cricket, you know. Playing cricket, the reward is not only making it as a superstar in the game. There are whole industry around cricket. The production of the match last night, it takes more than 100 persons to produce that match last night. There's so many eras in the cricketing industry which you need to learn the game before you have a foothold in it. So you do not only have to make it as a player. And when you make it as a player, which is the pinnacle, even a lot of persons always talk about West Indies players have to go and play T20 because they need to feed their family. I put it to you, that's not the right perspective. I am not here saying that persons should maximize their earning. That's not what I'm saying. But I want to tell you that a West Indies cricketer who play test cricket, say someone like Craig Brathwaite, he doesn't play T20 franchise. He played test cricket and regional cricket for Barbados. That cricketer is still in the top 5% of the highest paid profession in the Caribbean. The top 5%. So only 5% of persons in the Caribbean is earning more money per month than a West Indies cricketer who doesn't play franchise cricket. So franchise cricket is the icing on the cake. I brought out that point to you to say that even if you are playing test cricket, you can have a very good standard of life. Naturally, if you learn the basic properly. Naturally, if you evolve your game and you can take it to the next level, the amount that you can make will make you millions. And even after your playing career is finished, there are so many more opportunities in cricket. I am saying all of this morning because I want to try and see if I can convince even one person that going forward, West Indies cricket really rests with us to get more of our siblings who are toddlers to learn the game and know the game. And so, some of these persons who we held up as star would probably even don't know about them if more persons were learning the game, more persons were participating in the game. And I said that we have a glorious opportunity to take back West Indies cricket by flooding it with that talent. The next thing that we need to do is to find a way to get involved in the administration of West Indies cricket. Why just sit back and allow this exclusive club to continue to sink the ship to the bottom of the seabed? It is like politics in your country, in our country. If you do not go out and vote, you deserve the government that you get. So if 50% or 40% or 60% or 35% of the persons on the voters list go out and vote, and 65% of you never voted, you deserve the government that you get. And if all we are doing is talking about West Indies cricket and not taking steps to reclaim it, we deserve the administration that we get, and we deserve the quality of cricket that we get on the field. So in a peaceful way, I'm asking us to rise up West Indian fans, rise up West Indian supporters. The hurt is too deep, and in a peaceful way, we need to reclaim West Indies cricket because it belongs to us and not only a few. How long are we going to continue to watch and allow West Indies cricket to go lower and lower and lower? When a team got bowled out for 27, and up to this day, not one person apologized to the fans. Instead, they blame it. They blame it on us. How come should we sit by and allow that to happen? I am not here asking anyone to attack anyone. I'm not here asking anyone to blame anyone. What I'm saying here is that we need to rise up and get more involved in West Indies cricket so we can influence the way in which it is going. Because unlike some in the hierarchy of West Indies cricket who seeks to divide us, we should call for unity. And even those who seek to divide us, we reach out to them and said we are prepared to work with you. We extend the hands of collaboration and togetherness. And we don't say it now and the next day we say something that is divisive. We are consistent and we reach out. We can work together as a people, and this exclusive club must break away and become inclusive. Otherwise, we are just going to sink lower and lower and lower. Rise up in a peaceful way, West Indian fans. Get your toddlers in the family to start playing cricket. Get involved in clubs. Get involved in your national association. Get involved in your parish association. Get involved. Get involved. For too long, we have sat by and allowed a few to run things to the ground. And again, I said, we come in peace. We seek collaboration. We seek togetherness. We reach out and are prepared to play any role. Respect the respective position in cricket West Indies. And that is why when I speak, I call positions and not necessarily names, because we respect the holder of the office. We respect the office. And I'm saying we can all have a part and a role to play in West Indies cricket. We can ensure that our siblings, our toddlers in the family are learning the game. We can start by getting involved with our past schools. We can start by getting involved in our parish association, in our clubs. We can start by getting involved in our national association. The last two T20 internationals at Sabina Park shows that the passion for West Indies cricket is still there. The passion for cricket is still there. We debunk that rumor that there's no longer passion for cricket in the Caribbean and in Jamaica, in the West Indies. We debunk that rumor. That is just rumor. The passion is still there. And while we get involved, while we try to move the Negro along and to play our part in the reviving of West Indies cricket, we pray that those who are at the helm today, that God will guide them, that God will give them the inspiration to do the things that they need to do to improve West Indies cricket. Take the tough decisions. Take the tough decisions. Let us remove favoritism. Don't we see that favoritism? Don't we see that the way we are doing it is taking us lower and lower and lower? Please, please let us do the right things. I know that the pool of talent is shallow. But even with this shallow pool, we can still improve. We don't have to accept where we are. We don't. We can go further. We can improve. We don't have to accept. And while we take steps to improve the pool of players, I'm calling up on our countrymen and our Caribbean people, the elected few who runs West Indies cricket. Please let us move the Negro forward. Please, I am asking you. I'm begging you, I'm down on my knee beseeching you. You have the power right now. You have the authority. Do the right thing, please. Please, please. We will not agree with all the decisions that you are going to take. We will not agree with the methodology you will implement. We may or may not. But if we just see the Negro incrementally moving forward, we will celebrate you. We will celebrate you. Because that's what we asked for, you know. That's what we asked for. Just move the Negro bit by bit forward. What we are seeing is the Negro moving lower and lower, backward and backward. I really appreciate you being here. I'm going to go through the player ratings now. I'm telling you the truth. I never planned this show. I don't know what get into me. I never planned it. I never woke up this morning and said, these are the things that I'm going to say. That was totally unscripted. Totally. But I'm passionate about West Indies cricket, and I want us to win matches. I want us to win matches. I think we have our part to play. Cricket West Indies have their part to play. And the rhetoric that we are here coming out of Cricket West Indies, I don't think that is one that is promoting unity. I don't think so. Persons who lead are passionate about what they do and they have the agenda. But you must understand that those who follow you want you to be good leaders. So some of those rhetoric that is coming out of Cricket West Indies, we need to put it aside. We need to put it aside. And as the president said, togetherness. You know, we need to have that emergency meeting. We definitely need to move the Negro forward. Definitely need to move the Negro forward. And it's not hard. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's not hard. When batsmen are averaging 10 runs to good pitch deliveries, it can't hard for them to start averaging 15 in 6 months' time or a year time. Can't hard. It is so low that it can't hard. Another player ratings from last night, Brandon King, 51, batted beautifully. The fact that some would say that he gave it away, but it's T20 cricket, you have to keep going and going and going. So I'm going to 51, I'm going to give Brandon King. The team lose 6 or 7, 51 half century, T20 cricket. Give him a 7. Shea struggled, really struggled. Just was unable to get the ball off the square. 9 balls, 13 balls, 9 runs, no boundary. Cannot give Shea more than a 1. 1 for Shea. Shimron Etmire, didn't play as well as he played the other night. You know, the other night he came out and he really batted well. Last night though, although he hit a 6 and scored 14 off 10 balls, but then he was not the same Shimron Etmire that we saw on Sunday night. 16, 14, should I say, 14 of 10 deliveries, strike rate still 140. But when you look at it, it is still 14. Cannot give him more than a 1. Ruston Chase, 16 from 16 deliveries. He bowled 1 over that went for 10 runs. He was the one that bowled the last over that went for, I think, 4 runs off 3 deliveries. The thing about Ruston Chase, and you will know that Ruston Chase is now the number 2 ranked T20 all-rounder in the world. And he has, in even the batting, he has moved up, I think, 37 places. So he's now, I said this with a smile. I realized that the player rating was not on the screen. I'm sorry about that. So I said this with a smile, and Ruston Chase is now the number 2 ranked T20 all-rounder in the world, and is now the number 98 ranked T20 batsman in the world. Shai Hope is at number 10 on the T20 batting list. So Ruston Chase, 16 from 16 deliveries, 1.3 overs for 14 runs. Now, I'm going to give Ruston Chase a 1, but I want to say something about Ruston Chase bowling. And I sometimes I wonder if the West Indies analysts and the coaches don't pick up this. Ruston Chase is not a 1-over bowler. No. If you look back at Ruston Chase's career, more time than not, Ruston Chase will go for 10, 12, 14 runs in his first over. But then he comes back and bowled the other 3 overs like for 12 runs or 15 runs. And he ended up bowling his 4 overs for 25 runs, 28 runs, 30 runs. You have to realize this about the man. And you have to realize that you need to give him 4 over on the trot because you need to get rid of that first over. He's not a 1-over bowler. And if you pay attention to his career, it's always went like that. The first over, very expensive. And at the end of his spell, you realize that he bowled 4 overs for less than 30 runs. So, I don't know why the West Indies hierarchy don't pick up that, the coaching hierarchy, but they need to pick up that, and the captain also need to pick up that. So when you give him 1 over and it go for 10, and, you know, you needed to give him back the ball again, same time, and let him continue his spell. You know, and that's what I've seen in the past. Ravman Paul really struggled last night. He hit 1-6, but he just never timed any delivery. And Ravman Paul, for me, too, a 1. Shafin Rutherford, a gentleman was sitting beside me, and he said that Shafin Rutherford not going to get a ducks tonight, you know. But he got a ducks Sunday night, and again, he got a ducks. So the gentleman was dead wrong. I look at him, you know, and he looked back at me, and there was a wry smile on his face because both of us were disappointed because it was the exact same shot. Andre Russell. Well, he walked out, as you would have heard on the television, to much applause and fanfare. 36 from 15 deliveries, a strike rate of 240. Strike rate of 240. And his performance last night with the bat, I gave him 7, probably even 8. So I gave him 7. With the bat, he gets 7. But then with the ball and that drop catch, I could not give him more than 1. So 7 and 1 is 8, and divided by 2, his overall performance is 4. In doing these player ratings, and I just think it's a fair way to do it, anyone that is batting from 8 go down, you should really judge them as a bowler, because their main role in the team is bowling. Batting complements it if they can hit away a few balls. But 8, 9, 10, and 11, they are definitely your main bowlers. They are definitely. So any runs they contribute is more like putting the icing on the cake for their performances. So when I look at Jason Holder bowling last night, he bowled 3 overs, 1 for 28. He goes for 9.5 runs per over. Really and truly, you don't want to be going for more than 8 runs and over. 8 runs and over for me is like average 6. Once you go for more than 8 runs and over, then that mark keep going down. Again, Jason Holder was one of those who got dismissed the same way that he got dismissed. What happened to the player ratings? Oh my Lord, what happened to the player ratings here? The player ratings just disappear. I don't understand. What happened to the player ratings? It just disappear. I can't understand. I'm trying to get it back up, but it just disappear. I don't know if the player rating probably don't appreciate the marks that I'm giving to the players. So it decided then that, I don't like these marks that you are giving, so I'm going to go, I'm coming off. I don't know if that's the case, but I'm getting it up back, so please bear with me as I get back up the player rating. And I hope that you are doing your player ratings also. It's always very good if you are doing your player ratings. So there it comes up back. So yes, so Brandon King, I gave him a 7. So the player ratings are there. Thank you. So I can't give him average because he goes for more than 8 runs per over. And he never contributed anything with the bat, so he doesn't have any marks to earn there. So I'm gonna can't give him more than a 3. And plus he dropped that catch too. He dropped that catch. Gudakesh Mote last night was not one of his better bowling performances, and 3 overs for 33 runs. You 3 overs for 33 runs, going at 11. One moment, please. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I never realized that I was. But I don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I never realized that. I never realized that I was unmute. I never realized that I was unmute. So I want to say good morning to everyone. Good morning. Good morning, Lou Prudent. Good morning, Frame. Good morning, Atina. Good morning, Sheldon Smith. Good morning, Jacobs. Nikumu Jacobs. You know, so I'm calling for the immediate removal of Hope as our low IQ tactical cricket captain, said Mr. Casanova. Ainsworth Irish is saying deepest respect to Russell. He played first one. It was not necessary for him to play. The second and send off, another young batter should be given a chance, said Ainsworth Irish. Lou Prudent, thank you. I will be honest. I did not view any more of the match once I saw the successive loss of the first two West Indies wickets, which personally summed up for me the series. We only heard of drop catches. Well, there were 5 drop catches last night. 2 from Sheo, 1 from Russell, 1 from Older, and 1 from Gudakesh Moti. There's a live poll in which I'm asking you which one you think was the easiest one that was dropped. And the last time I checked the poll, some of you are saying 40% the Older one, 33% the Oak, 4% the Moti, and 23% the Russell one. I will make a few comments on which I think it was the easiest one. And persons can agree and persons can disagree, but I'm giving it the way I see it. And that's the only way I can do it, the way I see it. I think that the Russell catch was the easiest one. I think Russell saw the headlines. He saw once again his photograph on the front of YouTube channels like these and in the newspaper, flashing across the internet with him taking a magnificent one-handed catch. He wanted to take a camera catch last night. And I think he misjudged how close to him the ball was. And he wanted to go with one hand. But then when he realized how close the ball was to him, he realized that this is not a one-hand catch, because if I try to take it with one hand and I drop it, it's going to look terrible. So by the time all of that goes through his mind and he tried to adjust his hand to get the 2 hands to take the catch, it was too late. That is my reading of what happened last night. He wanted to take a highlight catch. He then realized that the ball was too close to him and he couldn't take a one-handed catch. And by the time he adjusted his hand and get his hands in position, it was too late and the catch dropped. I think that was the easiest one. I think Older catch, there was a fielder that had a better chance to catch the ball than Older. The fielder was coming in from mid-off. That fielder I thought could have catched the ball much easier than Older. Those are my views. I think so. But Older, as the bowler, wanted it himself. So I don't think it was easy as the Russell own. I think Morty catch was easier than Older catch. Shea up 2 catches, those were a big edge. They were always going to be difficult. He got gloves to one of them. He should have hold on to it. The next one, he never got a gloves to it. Maybe his techniques never allow him to get a gloves to it. But in my opinion, the Russell catch was the easiest one. The Morty one, although it hit hard, I think it came to him at a decent height. and he got his hand in position. Maybe what happened when Moti got his hand in position, he cushioned it too much. So the hands probably leave the ball, go away, leave the ball, because the technique was good, but except that in trying to cushion it too much, he probably drag his hand back a little bit too far. He probably give, the right word is, he probably give too much, and the hand goes away, leave the ball. The hands became too soft. I think that's what happened to the Moti own, because it hit back so hard to him. His action of giving was a bit fast, but I really think that the Andre Russell one was the most difficult. Those are my humble opinion. We need a bowling attack and to ask Pooran to return. I absolutely, as I preach this peaceful inclusivity, I am not in the rhetoric. Peaceful inclusivity. I think that we should reach out to Pooran. And to reach out to Pooran, there will be some compromise. There will have to be some compromise. First of all, the coaching staff and the director of cricket will have to believe that Pooran will solve a problem in this West Indies team. We'll have to believe that Pooran can contribute productively to this West Indies team. I have no doubt that he can. Do the director of cricket, the coaching staff, the selectors believe that he can? I can't speak for them, but I think they do. And if that's the case, and if I think it's the first video on my own page. It's the highlight video where I gave the reasons why Pooran resigned. You would know that I don't come and just say things willy-nilly. I would have some hints or something. It probably not 100% go so. But there would have to be some compromise with the captaincy for Pooran to return. Will Pooran say, yes, I am prepared to return and I'm prepared to work with the present captaincy situation? Will the selector, the director of cricket said, if you are coming back, you have to work with what we have. You have to work with our captaincy. And if Pooran said, no, I'm not working with that captaincy situation, where does a compromise come in, and where is that middle ground is found? And that is why we have to move forward in inclusivity and in a peaceful way for the benefit of West Indies cricket, not the rhetoric. So that is something that we have to look at. Will the management stick out and said, you have to work with this captain, and Pooran stick out and said, I am not working with this captain? Where is the middle ground? Patrick R. Scott is saying, my friend, I ask, why do I subject myself to this abuse from the West Indies? And I can only say it's the love for cricket. 3 games and I leave the park with no joy. Patrick R. Scott, I know you feel, and that's why when persons come on this channel and said, we are too emotional, we should calm down, we should take it easy. If we were calm, if we were not emotional, if we were rational, Patrick R. Scott, we wouldn't support West Indies, We keep on support cricket West Indies team because we are emotionally attached. If we were using our brain, we'd have run left this thing already, But But it comes in like when it comes to West Indies cricket and to support them. We don't use our brain, it's emotion. We are emotionally attached to West Indies. And that's why we support them. Not any rational thought process. It's all about emotional. Nikmo Jacobs is saying Powell have 60.5% winning rate from late December to June 2025 when he became captain, and hope of 22.28 winning rate from late June 2024 to present. I think that 3-2-5 is one of the matches. I think Hope has only won one T20 match. I think so. Phoenix Blue saying that you are absolutely right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Phoenix Blue. Thank you for the support. It Answer Springer is saying, I said before, Cricket West Indies should on a model where we the public can be shareholders with the ability to fire the management on poor performance. Answer Springer is on something there now. I think I said it earlier this year. And although it's not something that I've given a lot of thought to, it is not something that I have worked through. I am not an expert in finance and how these things work. You know, I have a son who is an expert in finance. Very good. He's very good at it. He presently work at one of the largest banks in Jamaica, one of, and I think it was in 2023 that he won an award for the Employee of the Year. So maybe I need to sit down and talk to him and let him guide me through these processes of how these financial things goes. But in a layman term, should Cricket West Indies become a publicly listed company? That would automatically means that there is a certain level of governance that has to be taken place, a certain level of management, you know, and it has. So I am all for it. You would agree that there are many comments here, and you know, so please forgive me. Tysa Gaming saying Shafane Rutherford was nominated for ODI Cricket of the Year. Is made to bat at number 7. Give the man enough balls to build innings, which clearly none of the other batsmen did. Shafane Rutherford did not bat at number 7 last night. When Shafane Rutherford, if you look back at Shafane Rutherford T20, he always bat at 6 most of the times. And if a coach decide to send a player ahead of another player on one occasion, that was Sunday night, he sent Russell ahead of Rutherford. I did not in agreement with it. But last night, Rutherford came ahead of Russell. Just like how I question why Etmeyer went ahead of Chase last night. Etmeyer should never have gone ahead of Chase last night. And if it had come off, you'd have said the coach got it right. You know, but I just think that point from Tysa Gaming is really not a solid point. And the next thing about it, the man got out. You can't make a point about a batsman should bat higher when he's getting out. He has to come not out. You can't make a point. Frame said he's going mad. I think that's when the audio was audio. When the audio was off. Thank you, Envoy. Yeah. About 7 minutes, you was talking to yourself. Wow, I'm sorry. I apologize about that. I do apologize about that. Rastan Chase now second ICC T20 all-rounder ranking. He move. Yeah, yes, man. I had said that earlier. I think West Indies was eating butterfingers last night, said Frame. I'm looking for Beth. You know, Beth is now a member of the challenge. Thank you, Atina. Please slash a like on the video. Someone saying, Jefferson Bancharam. And that's why I said Tysa gaming. I really think that was that point was neither here nor there. And so Jefferson is saying, Rutherford was coming 6 and 7 in the IPL with success. Why can't he do it for West Indies? I'm sensing an ego thing. I don't know, but what glad that you did. You made the point that you made the point that to strengthen my point. I'm sure when he's saying Powell did win 18 of his 29 T20s. Going captain, Sherman is saying you are wrong. He's saying going captain means the public owns ownership in the business. Yes, that's why I say it can become a listed company. Samuel Kane is also making the point that Rutherford have enough overs to bat. Yes, I really don't think Tysa Gaming was making a good point. I think he just picked something out of the hat. He's probably a favorite of Rutherford, which is no problem wrong with that. But we try to do the analysis properly. If Mr. Casanova one is saying, if CWI was publicly traded, there would have been a level of accountability to leadership and people would have to be fired. And that's why I think that I am fully agreement with going public, Mr. Casanova. How it is done, I don't know. Can it go? I don't know. And maybe that's why I have to talk to my son and get some more detail, and probably in one of the watch-alongs, I will explain what he said to me, if I understand what he said to me. Because I'm not one who really understand the intricacies of those things. But as a layman, there would have to be increased accountability. I use the word governance. It's one and the same. Accountability, different governance structure. People would be fired. There would have to be annual general board meeting, members meeting. So if you have a share in Cricket West Indies, if all of us are here have shares in Cricket West Indies, if thousands of us, millions of us have shares in Cricket West Indies, they have to have meeting and we all have our voices. And whosoever is the board president and chief executive officer, they will have to answer to us. I will send to compare summaries between Sheo record and Rovman Paul record. Yeah, but again, Nikimo Jacobs and Sherwin and so on. Comparing Rovman Paul record with Sheo record is not the root cause of the challenge, It's not the root cause of the challenge. It is much deeper than that. And you heard my rant. So I agree. Ed Meyer should bat at 3 when there's a right-hander batter at the plate. That is that cricket, man. That is algorithm bot. Chase bat at 3 the other night, Sunday night, had a good partnership with Sheho. Brandon King was the first man to be dismissed. Why sending Ed Meyer? Why sending Ed Meyer? I just didn't understand that decision. And that's why I have to give the coach such a low grade. Now I'm coming to your player rating. So let me see now how you rate the players. It will be very interesting to see what mark you gave the players. I'm really interested to see what mark you gave them. So just So Brandon King, 7 for Brandon King. Fair enough. I think I don't remember how much I gave him, whether it was 6 or 7, but it was either 6 or 7. I don't have a problem with either mark. So 7 for Brandon King. He played at a batsman. He makes a half century. That's above average performance. Yes. Sheo, most of you gave him 2. That's okay. I gave him 1. I think it's 1. I don't think you can't score so slow in one-day international cricket and expect to get 2 from me. But then again, it's your opinion. It's everyone's opinions that matters. For Shimran Etmaya, I saw where majority of you gave him 3. I don't know why. I can't understand. Why would Etmaya get 3 in a match when he made 14 from 10 deliveries? It's 14 runs the man making up, batting at number 3, and you gave him 3. I don't. But then again, it's your opinion. It's what majority said. So majority said that he gets a 3. Then I guess I have to live with a 3. Rust and Chase, again, majority of you think that it's a 3. It's a 3. So 3 for Rust and Chase. Let me see, Ravman Powell. Majority of you said a 2. I can work with that. I think I gave him 1. But then if majority of you said that it's a 2, well, I go with that. Yes. 1 for Shafrain Rutherford. Agree with that. There's no way you can get more than a 1. 5. 5 for Russell. So that's just about par. That's just about par. I think I gave him a 4. It appears that I'm the only person that gave him a 4. Some person gave him a 7. Some gave him a 8. Well, majority gave him a 5, but I can work with that. I can work with majority giving him a 5. Jason Holder, 2. Yeah, I can work with that. Jason Holder, a 2. Gudakesh Moti, 4. I think that's a fair rating. I think that's a fair rating. I think the rating today is much better than it was on Monday morning. So I think this is a fair rating. Alzari Joseph, I don't understand this rating at all. 3 overs for 50 runs, and he gets 3 and 4. He gets 3.5. 3 overs for 50 runs. He's playing as a bowler, our number 1 strike bowler. He's playing as a strike bowler in the team, you know. Alzari Joseph is playing as the leader of this attack. And he bowls 3 over for 50 runs. And we have persons giving him 3 and 4. Well, 3.5 then, because it's your I am only 1 person, majority of you see it that way. So 3.5 for Alzari Joseph. Akil Hussain, 5. I think he deserves a 6, but majority of you said 5. And that's why we need more persons to do the player ratings. The other day we have over 30 persons doing. So for the captaincy, majority of you think that is 2. You know, 2, and it was very close, majority of you. And for the coach, majority of you said 1. Somebody gave the coach a 8. I would have loved to know who gave the coach a 8 and what was the reasoning, what was the rationale for giving the coach a 8. I would have loved to know that. So that's the player rating. Let me just run through it very quickly from top to bottom again and just show you. So 7 for King, 2 for Hope, 3 for Etmaya, 3 for Chase, 2 for Ravman Powell, 1 for Rutherford, 5 for Russell, 2 for Jason Holder, 2 for Jason Holder, 4 for Gudakesh Moti, 3.5 for Alzari Joseph, 5 for Akil Hussain, 2 for the captain, and 1 for the coach. Thank you very much for being here this morning. I appreciate your company. It's been a wonderful show. I enjoy the banter, enjoy the to and fro, you know, and so Athena is saying that SOS gives Sammy an 8. What a good one that Athena. I always I always love Sammy. Sherwin, please, on a morning when we are calling for unity, because it's only by unity that we are going to build West Indies cricket. There's no need for loaded words. And I keep on telling you, Sherwin, there's no need for loaded words. And you always want to use loaded words. You can support your favorite player or a player. You can defend players without the use of loaded words. Right, Sherwin? And this is my final warning to you, Sherwin. This is my final warning. Oh, yes. I want, so, you see, I just said don't use those loaded words. You know, Windies need to regroup sooner rather than later, said Ainsworth Irish. Thank you very much for tuning in. It was a pleasure. Again, I didn't plan this show. I just planned to come and do the player rating because I'm telling you, I'm hungry. I'm absolutely hungry. And when I was about to start the show, I have no energy. And I don't know where that energy came from for that monologue. But thank you all for being here. I appreciate your company. I thank you for your support. Big up, Beth. I really appreciate those financial contributions, Beth. It's a wonder. I hope more of you will join Beth and continue to support the channel financially. Thank you, everyone. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. Get your siblings, your toddler in your family to start playing cricket.